This is a segment from the 6JustRPG.com podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please make sure to check out the SoundCloud link to the full podcast in the video description below. Also, make sure to check out our website at JustRPG.com and follow us on Twitter at JustRPG. Enjoy. Alright, for our next topic, how about what is your favorite controller to use when playing role-playing games? It sounds weird, but first I have preferences, so... Maxwell, would go first? Or Vicky, you seem to want to talk. Why don't you go first?
Alright, I can't decide between the Dreamcast controller or the N64 controller.
You picked the two weirdest controllers.
Yeah, they're my favorite, and they were so comfy and easy to use.
Honestly, I'm a fan of both, but I'm going to have to objectively say that the N64 controller is bad. Wow. I love it, but I have to say that it is poorly designed.
I think it was perfect for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's perfect for anything, but I do fancy it. Maybe it's because it can always double as a backup for bicycle handles if you needed them, or something along those lines.
You don't think? Well, I'm just thinking about some games that were just well designed for them. I was just gonna say PlayStation because that's all I've used. But as soon as I heard N64, imagine playing Quest 64 on a different controller.
I mean, imagine playing Quest 64. Period.
Listen, everyone can hate, but just in theory, I feel like it really used the...
Alright, for some things, I feel that the C buttons were utilized in the proper way. The C buttons definitely let games like first-person shooters, for example, work better in that era because there weren't twin sticks. Now, if there were twin sticks, it just would have been better. You know what I'm saying? Twin sticks would have been better.
For Quest? I don't think it would.
Well, for an FPS or something like that, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah,
for
FPS.
Quest, I mean, the C buttons could have been replaced with the D-pad in Quest. You know? If the D-pad was more accessible and not on the N64 controller.
I mean, maybe. What about, GoldenEye? You don't think that was...
Exactly. I think it worked in that era for FPS games.
Yeah.
Because there were no twin sticks. Then again, PlayStation had twin sticks, so those games I think just would have been better with the PlayStation controller.
Yeah, they might have.
Yeah. I mean, again, I like it, but I'm pretty into the 64. I have over half the library, so there is a third-party controller, believe it or not, that's much better than the original. It's by Hori. Hori makes they usually work with Nintendo. They make a lot of really good third-party controllers, which sounds like an oxymoron, but they made a N64 controller, I think it's Japan only, that's basically a GameCube controller, just with the N64 buttons, but shaped like the GameCube controller. It's just better. It's just better in every way. It just makes it a better controller. So after finding that out, I like it, but objectively, I'm gonna have to say it's not great. But that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah.
Now, the Dreamcast, the D-pad, I love the D-pad. People hate the D-pad. I love it. But I don't like the position of the C-stick on the Dreamcast controller.
No, same.
It's all the way in the corner. It's really hard to reach.
I feel like games like Shenmue, the controls were kind of awkward.
I think the controller for Dreamcast was designed to play fighting games.
Like Power Stone and stuff.
No, I think it was more designed for Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, because you always use a D-pad for that. You would never use a stick for those kind of games.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So, I think that's what they had in mind.
Well, thanks, guys.
Now that we have,
They're pooping on my life.
Now that we have shit on Vicky's opinion.
I think we weren't shitting on her opinion.
No. I was trying not to, but
yeah, we were. I don't know. I like N64.
I mean, again, for some reason, I love that controller, but objectively, I'm going to say it's not a good controller.
Yeah.
Now, for RPGs, does it matter as much? Not really, but it's kind of heavy when you're just sitting there, not using a third of it. But
I guess so. But I like really chunky controllers. It feels nice. That's why I liked the what do they call it? the Duke, I think. It was the Xbox controller, the very first one.
The huge one?
Yep, until they made the tiny one, which I hated. I absolutely hated, and I would only play with the giant monster controller.
See, I've never had. I've only used the 360.
Oh yeah, they had it for the original Xbox.
Huh.
Best controller ever. Just this giant beast.
I've heard people rave about that, but I've also heard the opposite.
Yeah.
Too, like, why was it so big? But then again, I heard some people swear by that.
Mhm.
I mean, I like the PS3, PS4 controller. It's withstand the test of time.
Now, do you like it because you're used to it? Because I mean, they've had it since PS1, basically.
Yeah.
Do you do you think everything's in the place it should be? Do you like the buttons and the sticks and the D-pad and all that?
Yeah, I miss the old R2 keys though. Like they changed
I think everyone
R2
does.
and L2. What's up?
I think everyone does. You can no longer put the controller down without pressing those buttons.
Yeah. Which is really weird. I mean, I get it. They're trying to like make it, change something about it, but like playing like fighting games, I felt like I prefer the flat R2 keys. So.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I guess they're supposed to be more ergonomic, I guess, but I'm not. I like the flat ones better, as well.
Yeah, I think I'm just used to it though. Like that's all I've ever used. I mean, I've played Game Boy. I did have Dreamcast. Forgot about Dreamcast. Shout out to Dreamcast. Also had a Nintendo 64. But my issue with Xbox is there isn't a single game in their library I was ever interested in getting. They had no exclusives.
You're also a big RPG fan. They didn't have many at all.
Yeah, they had that one that was about politics that I never played.
They have a lot. They had some multiplats, like they had like Fable and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Fable. And now they have Fable on the PC. So I mean,
Yeah, I think it was more or less at launch, so it was really just multiplats.
yeah.
It did have the best hardware though. That is a fact. It had the most advanced hardware for pretty much every generation it's been present. It has the best everything.
Xbox has?
Yep. Stat wise, it's better. Like for example, the 360 blows the PS3 out of the park in almost every technical regard. There's no justifying why Sony did it like that. I don't know why they were so far behind, but it's the games that are available.
Yep.
That being said, if it's multiply, it's always going to be better on 360. In terms of the way it runs, frame rate, all that stuff, it's always going to be better on 360.
Well, I've never had any issues with my PS3. I haven't had like the red dots or anything.
Yeah, that's true. They did have a big issue with the 360 in terms of the red ring of death and all that, but there are versions of it, such as the Slim, which don't break.
Yeah.
So, but again, from a technical standpoint of like,
Strictly better, yeah.
yeah, here's the processor, here's the GPU, all this stuff. Xbox has been better since it came out, but it's all about that game list, and there are some RPGs on 360, but not many. So, if you really want them, you have no choice. It's PS3 or bust. So,
For the most part, that's like all I played on console games. Like you have to like really blow out of the water if you want me to play on a console. Like obviously I play Last of Us and stuff like that. I'll play a Resident Evil every now and then, but in general, it's just
Yeah.
most the game library.
yeah. Well, in terms of the controller, again, for PS3 and PS4, I guess basically the same thing. I'd say I like the weight a lot. I really do like the weight of the controller. It's wireless. I'm not playing a fighting game, so I don't have to plug it in. I feel like I can. It's never an annoyance, really. What I don't like is the sticks. I don't like to use their analog sticks. They feel weak. They feel like kind of cheap to me. They always get like kinks in them, and their full range of motion. Hard to explain. But I pick up a lot secondhand too, so maybe I encounter it more. But otherwise, I think they're great. I prefer the PS2 though, but yeah. All right, my favorite. I know it's kind of. I like the GameCube controller. I really do. I also like the Wii Classic controller. If the Wii Classic controller didn't have to plug into the Wiimote, it would be my favorite. But the GameCube controller, I love that controller. It works for almost everything except like twin stick shooters, which I would never play anyway. But I don't know, it was comfortable. I guess I know it well. Some people hate the R and L buttons. I love them. I like that give they have. I don't know. There's something satisfying about that. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Meh. I mean, it's okay. It's your opinion.
It's my opinion.
I could crap all over it if I want.
Go ahead. Let's hear it then.
I don't have anything to say. You know
Too
what?
busy
My
playing
favorite
Dragon Age
controller,
over there.
I'm changing it to the Wii U pad.
Oh, don't do that.
I'm doing it. I said it. For Wind Waker, it was the greatest choice. Oh my god. Your backpack was on the screen. Oh my goodness.
I think it's a great idea. Definitely underutilized.
Yeah.
Definitely unnecessarily large as well. For this size, it better take, more games in there. I think we just lost Maxwell. I think his phone died.
Yeah, he was at 1%.
So we'll just finish it up here then. Yeah, like I said, I think the Wii U gamepad should have taken carts or something in there to justify, but it doesn't. So,
it could have been great.
I understand. I want to like it. I really do. I really like the idea. I really want to like it. I hope the NX continues that and they do it properly.
They won't. I'm just saying they won't.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if it's gonna have motion control, stuff like that. Oh yeah, has to be said. Has to be said. Don't put motion controls in the game if you don't have to. If you're gonna make a Zelda, don't make me swing. Just let me press A. Swing. I just want to press A, man.
That's why I never played Twilight Princess.
There's a reason why I'm playing video games. I don't want the exercise. All right, don't make me exercise to play Zelda. Just let me press A. That's it. That's all I want. Just want to press A.